Hi there guys, my name's Johnny Gill and today I'm going to be giving you a quick review and a demo of the Hitachi Action Cam, which I believe is only available at Argos. I decided to do this basically because I'm the sort of person that I like to research stuff before I buy it, and I couldn't find a lot of information about this thing on the internet, so I thought I'd let you guys benefit from my purchase. Right, we'll start with what's in the box. So basically the first thing you come across is of course a nice chunky user manual and the software for the device. Now I've had a quick play on this, I've not gone through all its features, but to be honest I'm really happy with it. It's got a really good UI built into it, dead easy to use. I mean, some of the guys that are used to using some of the more complicated kit, you're probably not going to get on with it too well because it is very basic, but for the most of us it is more than enough to get you by if you don't have any video editing software. You can cut your clips down, view them, upload them onto Facebook, upload them onto YouTube. You know, it's quite a good little program that comes with it. Right, in the box, what do we grab first? Now it comes with a HDMI cable. This is mini HDMI to full-size HDMI. So you can plug it into a TV, projector, any larger viewing device. Now, when I tried this on my projector, I did find it was a very simple operation with the camera itself. You can only scroll one way, so if like me, I had like 50, 60 photos and videos on there, and if you miss the photo or the video you want, you've then got to scroll all the way back through those 50, 60 to get back to start. Also, the actual playing of videos is very simple. You've got stop and start, that's it. There is no pause, rewind, this, that. It's just a basic viewer built into the camera itself, but very handy if you need a quick view and you're in a remote location, you want to see whether you caught something. It's useful for that. Otherwise I'd just, I'll do as I do, take the card out and put it in a computer. Right, next out, it comes with a chest mount. We'll go into that a little bit more later. Stick that there. It comes with a mini USB cable to charge it. One thing it doesn't come with though is the socket adapter. So most of us have got the socket adapters lying around the house anyway. Most mobile phones use them, so it's not a great shame, but it is a little bit annoying. So yeah, it's either a computer or get yourself an adapter for it. Right, next we've got the handlebar mount, as it's called. This is for mountain bikes, motorbikes, well, anything you can clamp this to really. I'm going to probably use a little bit of ingenuity and build something that can clip to. As it's easily removable, but more on that later. We get to the standard surface mount. Those of you that are used to using GoPros, you'll be used to these things. It's just a basic mount with an adhesive pad on the bottom. Right, next we pull out the actual waterproof casing itself. Again, those of you familiar with GoPros, you'll recognise the design of this. And last at least we have the little camera itself. Again, very similar in design to the GoPro. Also we have a battery. So let's get rid of that box. Right. Where do we start? Okay, we'll start with some of the accessories first before we go into the camera operation itself. Now I've only had this camera for 2-3 days. I did take it out both kite surfing and on my kayak, and both times I tried out the chest mount. It's reasonably comfortable. You know it's there, but it's not uncomfortable. It's dead simple. One arm through, head through there, round, and clip in. And unfortunately hide these little tassely bits. Now it's adjustable on two areas on the chest strap, so you can get your mounting plate nice and central, and it's adjustable on both your shoulder straps as well. Now the mounting plate on this is 3-prong. If I get a little bit closer so you can see it. Now the actual camera plate itself, you'll see there's a mount on the bottom and on the back. And this clips in really, really nice and tightly. I was really happy with this. I mean, some guys may find that it's a bit of a pain because it is so tight and awkward to get on. Personally, I like it because it's that little bit of reassurance that, you know, if for some unknown reason, not that this ever would, come unclipped, it's not just going to fall off and disappear into the sea or off onto the road, whatever. It's very unlikely it's going to vibrate loose. You know, it's a nice, tight, manly click. There we go. You know, that's not going anywhere. It takes a fair bit of force to get that on there. Whether that'll loosen up in time, it probably will. It's plastic, it's going to wear. But the actual locking system itself, I have every faith that that's not going to fail anytime soon. Get rid of this thing. It's overlooking. I'm happy with that. I've got some good shots off this thing. You know, it's a nice little option, actually, especially for the money that we paid for this thing. I mean, I paid $99.99 for this thing, which is a remarkable markdown on what you pay for something like a GoPro. Right, next mount, surface plate. Not played with this yet. I have already contacted Argos in regards to things like spare plates and spare batteries. Unfortunately, they don't do anything, which is a little bit annoying because obviously once you've mounted this surface plate somewhere using the adhesive pad, that's it. It's stuck there. You can't be put anywhere else. So I'm probably going to end up sticking this onto some kind of other plate and then design that as a quick release. So I can still use this plate on both the kayak, on my kiteboard, surfboard, that sort of thing. So if there are any people high up in Argos out there watching this video, please make this stuff available. You know, it's a good camera. It could be made much better by making extra mounts, spare batteries available for it. So we'll get rid of that. Oh, in fact, this is only a single prong attachment, unlike the rest of the mounts, which are 3-prong. But by the look of the design, it shouldn't really make a massive difference to its strength. It should still sit there quite happily. I mean, looking at it in my hands, I have every faith that this is going to stay on there. It's not going to go anywhere. Yeah, so that's your surface plate. Now, the handlebar mount. Now, I did have to read the instructions a little bit on this one because it does say that the mounting plate does detach like that. There's a little button on the front here, and it just pulls out the side. Now, it's in the manual. It says the purpose for this is in case we want to mount the camera in a camera holder. It doesn't really divulge any further on that. I mean, if anyone knows what it means, please feel free to get in touch. I'd love to know, but I can't work out any reason why you'd want to remove this otherwise. They say if you want to remove the camera off it, you just click it off the mount. It's as simple as that. I don't really see a purpose to removing that otherwise, because any other spares aren't made available, unless this is just a mass-produced item and it's used for obviously other products as well. As for its design, very good. It will fit onto anything that's got a round pole, so you could probably get a little bit creative with this thing maybe. Instead of sticking the surface mount somewhere, we can make a little pole if that'll fit on something and clamp that to it. It does twist round in many different directions on a little clicker, so it stays there. It's nice and tight once it's set in there. It ain't going to vibrate in any other direction. It's going to take one hell of a batter to get it moving. Right. Yeah, we've already gone through the HDMI cable. Right, let's get to the camera itself, shall we? Let's bring it a little bit closer so you can have a better look at it. Right, the camera itself, obviously, very similar to a GoPro. Inside this little cover here are your ports, and in there you'll see a full-size SD card slot, and I believe it can take up to a Class 6 card. You've also got your micro USB port there for connecting it to the computer and charging it, and obviously your mini HDMI port. Now, first thing I want to get out of the way, because this made me look like a right fool sat in my car, because naturally I bought this straight away, put it on charge in the car on the way to the beach, and very first time, classic man thing to do, didn't bother reading the instructions, and I immediately took the camera and I tried to put it in the case. Now, as you'll see, it took me a good couple of minutes to work out. It just won't fit, it won't close. So after a couple of minutes, I did admit defeat. I pulled open the instructions, and it turns out that this is actually a lens cover, which made me feel rather bloody stupid. But hey, and as you see now, it will quite happily fit inside its casing and it'll shut nicely. I thought that was a nice touch. I've not seen that with any other cameras, and it's brilliant if you're storing it in a case. It's just that extra bit of protection for the lens, because you scratch the lens, then the camera's useless to you practically. So I've had this out on both the canoe and while I've been out kite surfing, and to be honest, for 100 quid for everything I've shown you so far, I've been really impressed. This thing does up to 1080p, and I'll put some test videos on at the end of this video for you to have a look at, and I'm really impressed with it. Having used GoPros before as well, I'd be more than, well, I am more than happy to stick with this now. It's not so much of a loss should, for any instance, it go missing. You've not lost a 300 quid camera for a start, but you're still getting just as good footage out of it. Granted, if you're into the whole higher end, like you're making stuff for BBC or you're doing proper videoing, then you are going to notice a lacking quality from this thing, and you probably are better off with some of the no GoPros, GoPro 3, that sort of thing. However, if you're just an average Joe like me who wants to film yourself out doing your sport, then this thing is more than good enough. It's going to give you some good quality video to look back on. Now, I can't comment on vibration too much for the motorcyclists and motorsport guys out there, because I haven't got anything that vibrates a lot to stick on this. But it was absolutely brilliant out on the kayak and out kite surfing. It took a fair few batterings as well. It did get scraped across the seabed after a slight mishap trying to surf a wave. Not a drop of water got in there. I say it took an absolute hammering and not a drop of water in there, so very happy with its water resistance. One thing though, as I showed you before, you've got a mount on the bottom and the back. Now those GoPro users out there will know that you can, for a price, buy the GoPro floaty back door, which is effectively a very expensive piece of orange foam stuck to the back, so should it come undone or come off its mounting, it's just going to float there in the sea. You can just ride past it again, pick it up, not a big issue. Obviously having this mounting on the back means that you can't stick any foam there, so I'm probably going to have to get a little bit creative with putting some foam on this, or very, very careful. However, one thing I did notice with it is in the bottom corner here of the camera case, and you see that just about there, if it'll focus, you've got a nice lanyard attachment point. So if it is on a surface plate or something like that where you don't trust the adhesive, you just stick a piece of kite line through it, or a piece of string, and you can tie it onto something. You just got that little bit of extra assurance should the surface mount give up, or you break a mount or it has a good smash and it does come loose, that it's not going to disappear somewhere, it's still leashed to you. As for the foam, I think I'll be able to get away with a little bit of foam down the sides here, maybe a piece on this side here, and it's still going to float, because I will be honest, I haven't actually tested to see if the entire unit on its own floats yet. I literally took it straight out of the box and just used it. Right, I suppose we should go into its operation really. So first off, we take it out of here, we're going to have to stick the battery in. Now the battery goes in the battery cover here. In fact, I suppose I best bring you a little closer so you can see what's going on. Right, so let's start on its operation, shall we? Now, like I said before, it's very, very similar in operation to the average, like the GoPro 2. If we open the thing here, I've already showed you the ports, but we can stick in our memory card in the memory card slot. I'm using a class 4 8 gig, and it's been absolutely fine in it. All my videos have been great. Goes up to I think it can take a class 6. I'm not sure on the max size of card it can use. So that's there, and obviously we're going to need a battery. The battery lives in the back again, just like GoPros. Move your little tag to the side. If you don't use that, you're going to find it very difficult to get your battery back out again. Now the battery it uses is a 3.7 volt, 1130 milliamp hour battery, lithium battery as well, so you've got no battery memory to worry about. As for the amount of time it lasts, well, I had this thing out all day and I probably got a couple of hours worth of video out of it, and it was still had enough juice in it when I got home to have a play and take some photos and stuff with it. But I will be interested to actually get this thing out and just do a non-stop video and just see how long it lasts. And I did say before that there are no extra batteries for this. However, a little bit of research on the internet shows that I believe, is it Samsung, use the same type of battery in all their a lot of their cameras. So I'm going to go onto Amazon or eBay, one of the two. I'm going to order a couple of batteries which have roughly the same part number as this. They're the same dimensions. They've got the same specs as for voltage and milliamp hour. I'm just going to try one of them in it and see if it runs basically. So I'll have to get back to you on that one. They're not expensive. They're only about £6–7 a battery, which I don't think is too bad. Just to have those extras there at the beach, so you can get an all-day session in and get video of it all basically. Right, so let's start. Now to start the thing up, you see the big button on the front here, we just press and hold that, and we get a beep and a green light to indicate that thing's on. Now its default mode, if we see on our little LCD screen here, is a little camera icon in the right hand corner. That's video. Now that it does do different formats of video, and if I resort to the menu here, I can tell you all the video formats it will do. Because I got caught out by this one when I first used it, because it wasn't on 1080p, so I went out with it and all my stuff was recorded in 720. It was only after a couple of hours I realised and then changed it up. So to change the resolution, you go into the settings menu, which is quite simple. We just skip through using the big button. It will skip through all the other modes and you'll get to one that says settings. Once you get to settings, you press the button on top to enter settings. So it's now settings. The first thing you come across is Res 1, it says on here. And it goes from Res 1 to Res 5, obviously Res meaning resolution. So Res 1 would give you a 16:9 full HD video at 1080p 30 frames a second, which is its highest resolution. And Res 2 is 16:9 widest HD video at 720p 60 frames per second, so 1280 by 720. Now Res 3 is 16:9 HD, still HD video, 720p again, but down at 30 frames per second. Resolution 4, 16:9 wide angle standard, so you're looking at SD video now, so WVGA 848 by 480, and Res 5, which is its poorest quality, will be oh, in fact, no, sorry, I tell a lie, it's not as poor as quality. WVGA is the next one's 4:3 tallest HD video at 960p, so that's 1280 by 960. I haven't really played with any other ones other than Res 3 and Res 1 so far, so the 720p at 30 frames a second and the full HD at 1080p 30 frames a second. Both of them, I'm more than happy with the quality of video that came off it. More than happy. So I've had this on a projector with a 18–19 inch screen and it's looked absolutely fine. I've had this up on my TV, which is a HD quality TV, and the picture is lovely and crisp, and again on my laptop as well, HD screen, and it's a lovely crisp image. One thing I did notice though is that occasionally when the lens got splashed, the areas that got a little bit wet. In fact, I found this with quite a couple of cameras really. I think it's a sense problem. No doubt there's someone a little bit smarter than me out there that'll be able to tell me why they do it. But some colours it seemed to pixelate a bit, especially the blues of the sky occasionally. I tend to get a little bit pixely in the different shades of blue as it went through. And I did go out riding on a very bright day, and I did find that the auto light level on it did struggle in some circumstances to pick up. It was a little bit slow to respond, but as I say, it was an incredibly bright day and I was riding with the camera facing directly at the sun at some occasions, so I'm going to give it a break on that one. I don't expect a camera of this price and quality to, well, I say quality, it's a really good quality camera, but of this sort of price to be able to handle absolutely everything. If I wanted that, I'd have gone out, paid 300 quid and got a GoPro. Right. The next mode it can do, if I just escape out of this menu, there we go. Right, the next thing, if we press the big button, it'll go to a little camera icon in the bottom. Sorry, at the side. The camera is standard pictures, so it's just acting as normal camera. Every time you press the shutter button on here, there we go, it takes a picture, and then that's registered on the LCD screen as a number. Same with the videos, every time you stop a video it'll add a number onto a counter so you know how many videos you've taken. Right, next mode, indicated by this little icon on the side there, is continuous shooting mode. Now, to me as a photographer, continuous shooting usually means you hold your thumb on the shutter, it keeps taking pictures. Not quite what I bargained for with this, as it's on this thing it is actually time-lapse. So basically you set it into this mode, you go into the settings and you get a choice between, bear with me, what is it, 3, 5, 10, 30 and 60 second intervals between photos. So the minute you press this button, it will take, say if I had it set to 3 seconds, it would take a photo every 3 seconds. So you can either set that to every 5 seconds, every 10 seconds, every 30 seconds, every 60 seconds. They're the presets on there. There's no mode on here that allows you to set a precise amount of seconds yourself. But that's no major loss to me. That's probably something I'm not going to use. If I want to do time-lapse, I'm going to use my DSLR. Simple as that. This thing's purely something I can get wet that's going to take video and maybe the occasional photo. Right, next mode on here is the 3-shot mode, indicated by 3 little squares in a row on the right hand side as you see there. This one, you press the button and it takes 3 photos in a row. It's as simple as that. I did have a quick play with this. I did find it a little bit slow, although I've not used it for its intended purpose yet. I really probably would have liked to use this either like sitting in the kayak when the guys are kite surfing around. You know, one of them does like jump over the tarp, press the 3-shot button. One of the shots will hopefully caught the trick they're doing above me. But as I say, I did find that a bit slow, so I've yet to see how that's going to perform when I use it for what I want to use it for. But otherwise, it's generally a pretty nifty feature it does. Right, next one on here is a little clock symbol. That is the self-timer. And does what it says in the box really. You press the button, I think it gives you... Ooh, is it 5 or is it 10 seconds? Give me 2 seconds and I'll find out, because I clearly haven't prepared for this video in any way, shape or form. Where is it? I did put a little marker on the page, but it seems to have disappeared. 10 seconds, there we go. So you press the button, you get 10 seconds and it takes the photo itself, which is fine. And then the next mode takes you into the settings mode, which if you press the button on top, we've already gone through resolution settings. I've just changed the resolution by accident. I'll just change that back because I will forget. Oops, what is going on here? There we go, we got there eventually. Right, next thing we go into is, it says P3 there. Now this next setting is for, yeah that's right, so shooting intervals. So before I said you can have it at 3, 5, 10, 30, 60 seconds, this is what you do in it. So you see there, if I press this button here, it'll move to 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds and 60 seconds. Simple as that. Next one, you can turn the annoying beep on or off. Personally, yes, the beep's annoying, but I'm going to leave mine switched on, because when you've got it on a chest mount or something like that, or it's on the front of the boat, it's nice to have that audible beep without having to stick your face right over or over the lens and that, to have a good look at the front to make sure it's recording or it's registered. That it's just a nice confirmation that it has registered, you have pressed the button. Oh, also I forgot to mention the little LED down here, when you're recording that thing flashes as well, so that's another nice little visual indicator that it is doing something. Same with when it's in continuous photo mode, it will flash away to let you know that it's active, it's doing something, which is quite cool. Right, our next mode is, oh God, what's this one? Oh yes, date and time. Damn, you set date, time, and all the that sort of stuff on it. Next one, you can set its cutout time. On this one at the moment it says 180. Now you have a choice of 180 or 600 seconds, or it just stays on permanently, which would be off. I've set mine to 180, with it having, you know, limited battery. If I do leave this thing accidentally sat on its own, I want it to switch itself off, conserve the battery, because there's nothing more annoying than forgetting to switch it off after you've finished the video. You go to use it next time, but it's been running for an hour, 2 hours, just sat in idle doing nothing, and it's died. I've had that happen before on a GoPro, and it irritated the hell out of me, because it missed a good day basically. Right, next one is delete. You can erase everything on your memory card, should you so wish. Personally, I think it's a very dangerous thing to put in there. It's asking for someone to accidentally delete everything on the card. And then your next one is to escape out of the menu. Like I said before, I'm really impressed with the quality of this little camera. As you'll see in my little test videos later on, I've been more than happy with it. It's been absolutely excellent. Losing my table here. But yeah, generally for the price, I don't think you're going to beat it. I did try just a standard, one of the little waterproof cameras that allegedly claimed to do 720. It was just an absolute disappointment. Straight after, took that back, got this little thing, absolutely immense, does everything I want it to do. As I did mention before, if you are into like the creating video scene, you know, you're doing professional videos, this probably ain't the product for you. Likewise, if you've got money to throw down the drain, so to speak, go get yourself a GoPro. They are the top quality thing. They've been time tested. They've been proven in battle, so to speak. Go buy one. But for those of you like me that really can't warrant 300 quid on a camera, then this little bad boy is the thing you should be going for. Absolutely brilliant. More than happy with it. Right, I suppose we best show you some test videos. So thank you very much for watching.
No.